welcome to another episode of the Nonsense Review, and once again we're doing a jolly good bonus episode, so we're trying something new. I normally throw to Rick to sort of roughly explain, and I'm going to do that right now. However, he's not as in-depth in the knowledge of today's subject, so let's see how fun this sounds. Rick?
Hello. Today, you find me at a disadvantage, because my entire knowledge of this subject is based on a toy that I had from Burger King in the 90s.
I have to ask, what was the toy? Do you remember?
It was the Ultimate Warrior, and I was mad because I wanted Hulk Hogan.
Oh, you scumbag. No.
I know, right?
Boo.
I found out later that the Ultimate Warrior was currently the champion at the time, and therefore I should have been more happy about getting the Ultimate Warrior.
What year was this?
Like 1992?
I don't think he was. I don't think 92 sounds like past his time.
It might have been. It might even have been 1990. But yeah, is this the time when you go in and doing a bit of behind the scenes tippy tappa tappa tip?
Yeah, except I'm using my phone so you can't hear it. 1992 was the reign of Ric Flair, my friend.
Oh?
That was definitely past the Ultimate Warrior's time. Let me scroll, let me see. Where was Ultimate? I think Ultimate Warrior was 85, like well before 92.
Well now. So it might have already been like past legends by the time they got to being made toys thereof.
The Ultimate Warrior was 1990, was his last title reign.
1990? Okay, that might have been it then. So I was a kid. I was very definitely a small kid. The last time that I was small.
Wow, oh, that's sad. I'm there with you, buddy.
I was a tall kid.
Okay, fair enough then. Whereas I was just fat. But yeah, that's pretty good. Like at the time, the Ultimate of your toy, they had a unification match between the Intercontinental title and the WWF title, which the Ultimate Warrior won, so he had both belts. He then got stripped of the Intercontinental belt because Jack Tunney was like, you can't defend both belts on the same night, so we have to get rid of one. So of course he gave up the lesser title, at least at the time. Fun fact, Intercontinental title is usually given to the wrestler on the card who is the most proficient performer. So it's kind of like, if the guy has the Intercontinental title, that means the company sees you as a good worker, whereas the WWF title, main title belt, is given to the most profitable wrestler, obviously.
Sure.
I think you could see why the Ultimate Warrior was fucking profitable in the 90s.
Yeah, because he looks like the 90s personified.
Oh, yes. And if you've ever seen an Ultimate Warrior entrance, the man was on fucking crack.
But yeah, the reason Hulk Hogan was popular was because he was the most marketable in Britain at the time.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, at the time. Because we didn't know that he was racist back then.
Oh, goddamn. I've got some horror. Hulk Hogan is the living embodiment of a cunt. He is the sole reason, and not even a lie, that wrestlers have never unionized.
Yeah, because he told... didn't he tell Vince McMahon that the other wrestlers were plotting to?
Not just any other wrestlers, a very specific wrestler. Oh, fuck, the name escapes me. Fuck, Governor, Jesse Ventura. Jesse the Body Ventura was about 2 seconds away from getting the wrestlers to unionize, because he'd gone off to Hollywood and done films and saw how, oh, guess what? Unions are on your side. Unions are good. Especially in America, where we won't go into details with that.
Yep.
But yeah, he was 2 seconds away, and Hulk Hogan went running like a bitch to Vince McMahon, and he cracked down on it. And it's the history of wrestling's always been fucking murky, but it's one of the most disgusting things anyone's done. If you're not counting murders, because that's happened too. But anyway, before we move on to the bulk of the episode, experimental as it is, Rick, what segment have we got to do first?
Our starting segment is nonsense, bullshit, asinine hypotheticals.
Oh, we're up to 3 now. I now have to think of a bullshit question on the spot because I haven't really thought. So let's see here. Favourite? I can't even give you a wrestling themed question because you don't fucking know any. Favourite bullshit made up sport in a video game?
It's got to be Blitzball, ain't it? It's silly and it's a low hanging fruit, but it's also the one that I had the most fun playing in-game, at least in the original game that it showed up. In the second one, it was basically just Championship Manager Blitzball Edition.
It was not fun in 2.
Yeah.
They fucking took it out. They might as well have not included it. That's how different it was.
Yeah. And the worst thing was, the absolute ultimate star of all Blitzball ever, the airship pilot brother, was one of your starting members in 2, and he was shit.
Yeah, but even if he was good, because it was all based on numbers and calculations, your team would still fucking lose. So they didn't really gain anything by making him a shit player.
They made it like fucking 5-a-side for 5-year-olds, how every single player would swarm around the ball like bees.
It was not good. I did not enjoy it. It made me go, alright, I'm not playing this minigame, it sucks.
Yep.
Which is a shame, because, okay, the tactic in FF10 was you wait until you get to the airship segment so you can have Brother on your team and kick everyone's ass. I wanted to play Blitzball so much because I enjoyed it. I used to struggle with my starting Besaid Aurochs and just go straight into that shit.
And level them up like crazy by getting them tackled a lot.
Or passing the ball between two people while hiding behind keeper.
I mean, that's how they play football in Britain. They just pass balls in little triangles until someone decides to pass it to someone who's going to score.
You're not wrong.
Yeah?
Yeah, I generally agree with you. I think Blitzball's probably one of my favourite all-time made-up bullshit sports. Outside of, like, Blood Bowl, but that's like a miniature tabletop game and dumb. And designed to take the piss out of American football.
Yeah. I mean, like, taking the piss out of a sport that literally has body armour, what better than to shoehorn it into a world where people have armour and actually rip people's heads off?
Yeah. Let's not... I was going to go on a tangent, but better not. Have you got one question to fling back at me, my friend?
Okay, the question I have to fling back at you is, what is your favourite Digimon?
Oh, wow, favourite Digimon. Oh, there's quite a few to choose from. Like, it's not as bullshit as Pokemon's gotten, but there's a lot. Because I don't actually play the card game. In the card game, they probably do have more Digimon than Pokemon nowadays.
I mean, I could always narrow it down to... Would you prefer me to narrow it down to rookie level or mega?
I'm not bothered, but if you narrow it down, it would make it easier.
Okay, favourite rookie level, why not?
Favourite rookie level, I've got a soft spot for... it's weird. Like, I think I quite like Palmon.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It's a simple design. It's just a weird little creature with a flower on its head. Also, like, if you've seen enough hentai, you know where it might be going.
Is that the one that ends up as Rosemon?
It does.
Yeah.
Like, it turns into a cactus at champion level, and you're like, okay, well, that's interesting, and it's got boxing gloves. And then it goes into Lilymon, which is literally a petite fairy, and you're like, oh, that's cute. And then it goes into Rosemon, which is just like, oh, it's BDSM time.
Ah, yes.
Sometimes we don't normally fling the question straight back at the asker, but have you got a favourite rookie Digimon?
My favourite rookie Digimon is probably Impmon. Like, you'd expect me to say Renamon because it's just basically yellow Lucario.
Furry bait.
Yeah! But, Impmon, I think, is really cool because I played Digimon Rumble Arena and Impmon was busted as shit. And I also watched Season 3 of Digimon where Impmon had a character arc. Like, you could say the only character arc of that series, pretty much. But yeah, he went from being the only one of the originals who couldn't digivolve to being one who went straight to Mega by bullshit powers with the downside of, yeah, you work for us now. He killed one of the beloved cast members and then spent a while angsting about it. And eventually he gained the power of love. His eyes turned green.
I hate everything you're saying right now.
Dude! He turned a toy gun into a massive fucking cannon.
Yeah, his model in video games tend to follow that.
Yeah, so he's got his giant fucking cannon. I think he's got his bike as well, just from being a big-ass biker. A big-ass biker? A badass biker.
We've got to tick all the boxes for edgy edgelord teens.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not little girls we're marking towards, it's little boys. Hello guys, Devon here, just recording a very, very late addition to this episode of Extra Credit. I haven't got a script in front of me, but I really should have prepared something. The long and short of it is, this video was originally about an hour and a half in length, but well, when I came to edit it, something became very, very clear, and that is, while the content was good, the presentation was not so good. Awful, one might say. So, in order to have this video actually release, I've decided to cut out the first thing we reacted to, which was the bulk of the content. So the only thing we're actually watching and reviewing today is Kenny's Quest. Now, I have spoken to Rick about this, so he knows this is happening. Please ignore any mentions of the length of the video, because as we know, it is very much outdated because of errors in the recording process, as it were. Yeah, enjoy guys, enjoy our reaction to Kenny's Quest. Yeah, not much need for an outro, there'll be one later. Hey! Speaking of wrestling and silly, have you ever heard of one Kenny Omega?
I might have done. Is that the one who came on as the thing that we were talking about last night?
He did an episode of AEW not too long ago. Well, actually, it was probably fucking ages ago now, because Sense of Time's gone all throughout the window.
Mm-hmm.
He did come out as Sans.
Yep. It's Sans Undertale!
One of my favourite things from that clip is the other guy said, channeling the power of Sans from Undertale, and JR's just being miserable like, I think he's got a screw loose. But this is basically a precursor to that by like a year. He used to wrestle for a company called New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
Their version of WrestleMania is called Wrestle Kingdom.
Sure.
They told him that he wasn't allowed to do this entrance because both himself and Toby Fox worked very hard on it. They decided to post it on YouTube before Wrestle Kingdom happened. And once they saw how popular the video was, I assume is the reason, they ended up airing the whole entrance when they did Wrestle Kingdom. But that's neither here nor there.
Fair.
But yeah, this is called Kenny's Quest. Now, I'm going to warn you slightly as a spoiler, there's going to be a Star Wars crawl at the beginning. I'd appreciate it if you read it for the audience. Now, this video is going to have a timer because you can quite easily think you're watching for this. We're not going to pause this for breaks, we're just going to talk over it. So if you lose your way when you're doing the crawl, don't worry too much about it. I just think it would be more interesting than us just reading it silently.
Sure. So this is a 6-minute long video, and we're counting in from 3, 2, 1, and go.
Again, Toby Fox worked on this, so you know it's official. Go on.
The following was a special collaboration intended to play live just before the Wrestle Kingdom 13 main event. Due to circumstances beyond my control, this will not air during Wrestle Kingdom or on any official NJPW channels. Irregardless, Toby and I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. Kenny Omega.
But yeah, it's cool. Also, that was a lie. They ended up playing most of it for Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, art designed by Temmie as well.
Temmie! Yeah.
Hi, I'm Temmie.
Oh, in case you didn't know, Kenny Omega's a massive fucking weeb.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy he's wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom.
Wouldn't the Tanahashi one be better?
This is where it kind of falls apart, because in case you didn't know, that's Kenny Omega.
Man, here's the thing where I'm showing my super weebiness by I could listen to most of that without the subtitles.
Oh, you fucking weeb.
I know, right?
Like, they did not half-ass this, Toby Fox and Tem.
Man, this is cute.
It's great. It's so Undertale.
Man, it's the Metaton Arena. Essentially.
Do you want to do Tanahashi and I'll do Kenny? That's Tanahashi.
Okay, crawled here despite your injuries. While I've been working tirelessly for this company, your egotistical quest to change the world of wrestling has been selfishly taking up the spotlight. But your time is over, Kenny. Soon, I will usher in a golden era for NJPW, and everyone, your allies, your fans, Ibushi, will see you for the weakling you really are. How did we come to stand here around, or are we going to fight?
Oh, they got the music from Asgore.
Mercy, you don't want to fight? What? You playing the hero? Don't make me laugh. I'm the hero of this story. And for heels like you, there is no mercy.
Tanahashi attacks, 122 damage to Kenny. Kenny used a powerful chop, 143 damage to Tanahashi. Tanahashi wrapped his knee... Oh, fuck.
Used a cortisone shot.
Kenny used a powerful chop, 2 damage.
You think your Hinganai style can hurt me? Pathetic. Let me show you the true power of NJPW.
Tanahashi used the power of the NJPW president. Golden Lovers! Kenny called out to Ibushi for help. But nobody came.
Ha! You think Ibushi would oppose his god? For an undeserving weakling like you? Face it, Kenny. There's no one left on your side anymore. Now, goodbye and good night!
Tanahashi supporters rush the arena. They started giving Tanahashi their energy.
He's got the spirit bomb.
Oh, 999 damage. Kenny was hurt and beaten. Game over. Oh, it's sad. He's down and out. But this is Undertale. We need determination, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Kid, hey, it's not over yet, you know. Try yelling louder, dumbass. Buccaneer? Is that right?
Bakayaro!
Oh, it's a super kick party. What's this, hopes and dreams or determination? I forget. It's not time to give up yet.
This is his song, I think.
Ah, okay. Kenny remembered his supporters. The Young Bucks. Cody, Pharaoh, Brandy, Marty, Paige. Oh boy, that aged like milk with Marty. All of his fans, and Ibushi. Kenny felt their support, and Kenny overflowed with the determination of his friends. Time for V-Trigger.
Kenny used V-Trigger. No. I'm the hero who saved this company from the Dark Ages. How could I lose to a weakling like you?
Mercy.
Huh. What are you doing? You won't finish me off? Ha! Don't insult me. Stop messing around. Finish me like the eel you are. You're serious. Kenny. When will you stop your self-indulgent fantasies? This isn't a game. All know how in reality this world is kill or be killed.
Ah. Like, that shit had love thrown into it.
Yeah, absolutely. You could tell the character design there was a lot of love thrown into that. Like, it was really. I just had a smile on my face through most of it.
For what it's worth, when Kenny walked to the ring during Wrestle Kingdom, he had Hopes and Dreams playing.
Yeah.
That was his theme tune for that one walk down. He also was dressed like, you know how Chris dresses in Deltarune? It looks kind of like that. Like, he had weird armor on, but not quite.
Okay.
For what it's worth, that he ended up losing that match, which kind of sucked.
Oh, well.
He was leaving. Like, after NGP, pretty much after that match, if I'm remembering my timeline correctly, that was when AEW got formed. And all those guys, except for Ibushi and Marty, were pretty much the founders of AEW, which is the new wrestling firm.
Yeah.
You may have overheard me saying during that little boosting speech thing where Marty, and I was like, oh, that's aged like milk.
Yep.
That's the villain, Marty Scurll, who is a big Ring of Honor lad, or was. He recently got fired not too long ago about allegations that came out like a year ago. It took that long to get around to them fucking doing anything about it.
Okay.
This is going to be the dark side of wrestling again, I'm afraid, guys, so apologies. There was a very big speak out movement about a year ago where a bunch of people came forward about wrestlers basically being cunts and abusing their position, as it were. Marty Scurll, the accusations were one of the backstage wrestling people had a daughter who was 16, which,
ooh,
as you know, Rick, is legal in the UK.
Yeah.
And this happened in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Scurll stresses that point in his quote-unquote apology, because it wasn't, where it's like, but she was 16, everything was above board. And it's like, dude, like, no one gives a fuck about the age, the fact that she's 16.
It's the power
I'm
imbalance.
sure there's some people who work, but like, no, it's not even the power imbalance is also a factor, but it's not even the worst part. The issue is, alcohol was involved, quite a lot of it.
Okay.
It's like, he claims everything was consensual, but he also says a lot of alcohol was involved. Now, those things can't both correlate. You can't be both.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, that doesn't fly.
There's a phrase that includes the word statutory there.
He has received 0 legal repercussions, and it took Ring of Honor about a year to fire him. That's not okay. It's so shitty. It's a shitty thing to do to another human being. But what's even worse is when it's very clear that the number one thing people want to hear is an apology, and then you come out and you make your apology, and your apology is, I'm sorry that you guys are offended by this.
Yep.
No, it's a very black and white scenario here. It's not okay to do that.
I'm sorry that you don't like the thing that I'm not sorry for.
It's a downer, and again, it's that dark side of wrestling where this is just a case we know of. I have no doubt there are countless of these where people are too scared to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, we made it as a gag last week in D&D, but I'm not guilty this time. I mean, I did did it, but I'm not guilty about it. That seems to be how it's been put across, but in a more real scenario.
Except also in our scenario, it didn't involve literal rape.
Yeah. All I did was draw a picture of a shitty duck.
Yeah, no one gets hurt by that.
No.
Okay, so that's the downer note over and done with, because I feel like you can't have a discussion about Marty Skrull without pointing out the obvious dickishness that is what he did, at least for people who are in the know, because I know you're not, Rick, you don't follow wrestling, and if you did follow wrestling, I doubt you'd follow all this indie shit.
I'm doing the bit where I'm nodding. So, rather than ending on a downer note, anybody who's made it this far, shout out in the comments if you want to see my picture of a shitty duck.
But yeah, let's end on a slightly chip note, at least I assume so. What did you think of that?
I generally liked it, but the thing is, I'm always a sucker for Undertale music at the best of times. I think I can pinpoint who made the metal remix of the theme tune as well. I think it was Richard E.B.
Okay.
If we're having fun, we can even post a link to that down in the comments. And
I'm not going to post a link to anything that we haven't directly used in the video, because.
Okay, I'll put it as a normal comment.
Okay, you do that, bitch.
Yeah, all right, okay. But yeah, I'm a sucker for Asgore's theme. It's great.
I forgot it was even in it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I think the little animation that they did before the Sans bit was...
Yeah, striding up to the ring, yeah. It just had such Metaton? Yeah, Metaton vibes.
But what I'm saying, I meant when they did the other bit where Kenny Omega did the Sans joke on AEW, I think the small animation before that was actually better and more to the point.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Like, it's always good when obvious nerds get to display their obvious nerdiness for the world, and fellow nerds are like, cool, I'm now vastly more interested in what you do in the future.
Yeah, when nerds come together and birth a passion project.
I mean, case in point, fucking Kenny Omega's special is called the V-Trigger.
Yeah.
You don't know this because you don't watch wrestling, but the motherfucker uses it about 10 times every match. You get very used to JR or whoever's on commentary going, V-Trigger! V-Trigger! But yeah, pretty much, like I said, pretty much everyone involved in that video, bar I'm going to say it was Takaneshi, I might be fucking up that word, Ibushi and Marty Skrull are pretty much in AEW nowadays. Fun fact, was it Takaneshi or Takeshi? I forget, I'm sorry. I mean, you watched the same video, so I assumed you might have... Oh, it doesn't matter. I've seen him live as well, because I went to see a Ring of Honor show where they had New Japan guys there, and he was part of the Fatal 4-Way, and very good wrestlers all round.
Yeah.
One day I want to take you, and I want to take Matt as well, to a live indie wrestling show. It's just so fun. It's much better than WWE shows.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, that seems like the most natural stopping point we're going to get. So thanks for sticking with us this long if you managed to make it to the end of this video, because I realise it's a bit long in the tooth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very definitely probably a background listening episode for people who have listened this far.
Oh, very definitely, because apart from the 6 minutes where we did the Kenny Omega stuff, even when we did the Kenny Omega stuff, we weren't reacting, we were reading it. So, yeah, all I have to say is thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate your support as always, and it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.